All right, let's do it.
Hey, hello, America. We're back early. Happy Tuesday night. Well, uh, good to be here. And let me disappear real quick, but I'll still be here. All right, tonight it's the mantra is the new epoch of the gods. All right, through the power, force, might, and will of the great nothingness of the almighty powers of the great nothingness of almighty flow, the great nothingness of infinite beingness, of infinite, endless, limitless, invisible light from which comes the absolute all that was, all that is, and all that is being and becoming realized into realization, actualization, and form as we all now will and commanded to be. Now, being and becoming an active force of higher consciousness and an active force of infinite intelligence within us all now. Being and becoming the great primordial dragon, God, Son, Kundalini flames. Now, whirling and ascending up our spines from our root chakra to our central heart chakra, all the way up to the royal crown chakra, igniting our royal crown chakra, illuminating our first eye, our Lord Amunel Dragra, our hidden priestly grandmaster Magi Dragon, God, Son, King, and Queen, igniting all the 72 chakras in our first eye, our 72 primordial dragon gods and kings and queens, and all of our legions of 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 armies 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 of armies. Now, willing all of the powers, all of the forces, all of the elements, all of the essences, all of the dark matter, dark energy, and ethers ruling the entire omniverse, earth, and physical and spiritual matrix and heavenlies into being and becoming all of our will serving all of our will's objectives, intentions, and desires, crystallizing them all into realization, actualization, and form as we all now will and commanded to be. Now, being and becoming an active force, an active source of supernal light and energy that we're all using to unlock and activating all of our higher DNA, returning it all back online within us through the black dot within our first eye, universe B. Now, increasing the vibratory rate of our entire being up higher and higher and higher, changing every atom and subatomic particle of matter within our entire beingness back into a new primordial chaos out of order being of higher manus, the master manifester of all reality, the be and beingness, manifesting into our reality and beingness a new and greater mind, connected to Atma, the Most High, while pulling in unlimited supernal energy, supernal light and energy from right out of Atma into our higher and lower manus on down into our physical reality, manifesting it here as all of the substance that we need now to take total control of our entire reality in this matrix through the knowledge of our true higher and lower inner self. As we begin to learn how to magnetically reattaching all of our higher DNA back together again, empowered by the supernal light and energy of Atma control through higher manas, to begin phasing in universe B, the world to come, while phasing out universe A, the world being and becoming destroyed now by raising the vibratory rate up so high until it begins awakening and igniting all of the divine sparks in this matrix one by one, all going supramental consciousness together, bypassing all of their humanity, completely destroying this illusionary matrix at once, being and becoming pure supernal energy, vibrating higher and higher and higher, being and becoming more massive than the sun until we suck the entire sun and solar system into our supernal darkness and supernal light, collapsing this entire space-time continuum into our supernal energy as it continues vibrating faster and faster and faster until it implodes and explode, forming into universe be the world come on a new earth expressed in its most grandest grace and beauty in a universe now built on the foundation and fabric of divine love, peace, justice, harmony, and balance, as all of the souls come together to celebrate the great feast and grand festival of the new epoch of the gods through the power, force, might, and will of the great nothingness of the almighty powers, of the great nothingness of almighty flow, the great nothingness of infinite beingness, of infinite, endless, limitless, invisible light from which comes the absolute all that was, all that is, and all that is being and becoming realized into realization, actualization, and form as we all now will and commanded to be. Abracadabra, Ashe. Crown chakra day libations. Ain, the nothingness, Ashe. Ain soft, the infinite, Ashe. Ain soft or, the infinite light, Ashe. Adam Catman, Itik Yaman, the ancient of ancient, the most ancient of days. I recamping the big face, the primordial Christ, Ashe. Atzilith, emanations, our supernal holy universe manifesting in us as our holy divine infinite magical names, the cosmic Christ, Ashe.
Ashe.
The great abyss of gnosis manifesting in us as the crown of Zeramp and the small face, the indwelling Christ, the black hole kingdom doth, Ashe.
Ashe.
Berea, form, creation, and paradise manifesting in us as our holy divine infinite magical dark archangels and demons within us, Ashe. Yetzirah, formation manifesting in us as our holy divine infinite magical orders of dark angels and demons within us, Ashe.
Ashe.
Ashia, the actual physical world in the making, the universe of action manifesting in us as our holy divine infinite magical earthly kingdom, Ashe.
Ashe.
Yeshida, our holy divine infinite magical divine spark manifesting in us as our holy divine infinite magical will, Ashe.
Ashe.
Heya, our holy divine infinite magical life force manifesting in us as our holy divine infinite magical desire, Ashe. Neshama, our holy divine infinite magical heavenly soul, manifesting in us as our holy divine infinite magical heavenly thoughts, Ashe. Ruach, our holy divine soul, manifesting in us as our holy divine infinite magical word spoken through us, Ashe. Nephish, our holy divine infinite magical earthly soul, manifesting into realization, actualization, and form as we are now willing and commanded to be, Ashe. Kether, the supernal crown, Ashe. Hakma,
Ashe.
wisdom, the supernal father, Ashe. Bana, understanding and intelligence, the supernal mother, Ashe.
Ashe.
Da, the great abyss of gnosis, Ashe. Hased, mercy, Ashe. Gavura, judgment, Ashe. Tifrit, beauty, Ashe. Netzik, victory, Ashe. Had, glory, Ashe. Yasad, foundation, Ashe. Malkut, the kingdom, Ashe. The power, force, might, will of the great nothingness of the almighty powers of the great nothingness of almighty flow. The great nothingness of the primordial cosmic flower constantly blooming the absolute all into being. Abracadabra, Ashe.
Ashe. Yeah, man.
Hmm?
So, yeah, man.
Yeah, so, mhm. Believe it or not, the last show we did, so it's at 26 right now.
Oh, did?
Yeah, maybe that guy didn't hurt us at all, but that was some shocking shit.
Yeah, he's sick.
Yeah, that's some sick fucks.
There's some sick motherfuckers out here.
Yeah,
That's all.
there is. Yes.
I'm looking for this one page that talks about the counter memorial. Oh, I got the counter memorial right here. It's
What's
and it
that?
talks about how the counter memorial was an international suit between France and United States. United States was France was trying to say that the United States didn't have power in Morris treaties, didn't have any privileges in Morris treaties, and
Mm-hmm.
because France is
Most favorite.
they're the custodians for Morris sovereignty, right?
Uh-huh.
Not for the sovereignty entirety, but a portion of the sovereignty based in the empire.
Mm-hmm.
They were custodians for protecting Morocco's integrity, its political integrity as an empire, and upholding the treaties. So
Mm-hmm.
France is in control of that, right?
Yes.
So
If they do.
The United States sued France because France said they didn't have the privileges within the treaties. So they sued, and the France came back, and then uh, America sued them, claimed that they did have privileges. And the treaty, I mean, these memorials literally expose a lot about the political climate of that time and how powerful Morocco was. How they was all these European nations were utilizing Moroccan sovereignty to force their agendas, to force
Mm-hmm.
their seafaring capabilities.
See,
And
they were all piggybacking.
huh?
They were all piggybacking on it, on Morocco.
Right, they was
For
all
power.
dependent upon Morocco for expansion of their state as a
Mm-hmm.
seafaring state.
Mm-hmm.
They needed
And
Morocco to give them the okay.
okay, shit. Then they did and went out there and started conquering up shit that already belonged to us.
Oh yeah, I think this is
Yeah, they've been taking care of Morocco's affairs, all right.
okay. Okay, yeah, this is. I think this is a portions of it, but I wanted to find the part where it actually says the United States has rights in Morocco.
Right
Okay,
here.
yeah, it's right. This is it right here. Look,
Yeah,
facts.
yes, and it's already highlighted.
Right. This is the
Mm-hmm.
counter memorial of the United
Mm-hmm.
States, right?
Yes.
And this is a part of it, part two, the facts. It says,
Mm-hmm.
oh shit, what happened?
Where we go? To which way to go? To which way to go? Video.
Okay, it says facts. In view of the nature of the legal issue, okay, let's see. In view of the nature of the legal issue which has has been arise in the application and in the memorial, the government of the United States submits that the following questions of facts arise. What are the treaties and other agreements which establish the rights of United States in Morocco? Right?
Mm-hmm.
It says, what are the treaties and other acts which determine the rights and obligation of France as protecting power?
It's right there.
France as protecting power. They're protecting the integrity of Morocco. That's why
Yeah.
you got something called the French Protectorate. Y'all
Okay.
go look that up. What
Mm.
what are the circumstances which give rise to the dispute in this case? It said chapter one. Treaties establish the rights of the United States in Morocco.
Mm-hmm.
Boom. I just destroyed all y'all talking that bullshit.
In
In order
Morocco.
in order properly to determine the origins and existence of the treaty rights which the United States has. Remember, I told you about they said I got rights in the treaty amongst the treaties too, right?
Mm-hmm.
In the treaty too, they said and the treaty rights which the United States has secured from the Sultan of Morocco and exercised in the country without any obligation under
No objection.
up to the present time is it is necessary to review historically not not only the treaty relation of the United States with Morocco, but also the treaty relationship of other foreign powers with the state of Morocco. There are two reasons for this. One, the one on the one hand, it is necessary. Now, my thing is, people should ask me, why is Morocco concerned? What is the United States concerned with Morocco? We in Morocco right now. We in
Yeah.
Morocco, okay?
Mm-hmm.
When it comes to international extraterritorial jurisdiction, no powers, they had to go to Morocco to operate over here, right? And to operate with their seafaring too, but because the treaty protect them on the seven seas too,
Mm-hmm.
right? Also, the treaty relationship of the other foreign powers with the state of Morocco. There are two reasons for this. On the one hand, it is necessary to make such a review since certain treaty rights were not granted directly to the United States, but depends for their existence upon the effects of the most favored nation clause in conjunction with treaty concluded by Morocco and other powers. On the other hand, the issue in this case emerged with greater clarity when placed against their historic background. Oh, here we
Mm.
go. What did I do? Okay. Historic background, a background which has been involved not only Morocco, the United States, and France, but a number of other nations as well. A bilateral treaty concluded by Morocco for 1631 to 1880, right? 1880. The Sultan of Morocco is in contrast to the ruler to the ruler of the rest of the North America. I mean
No
North
Africa.
does not appear to have to have entertained extended treaty relations with the so-called Christian powers until the 17th century. The treaties concluded properly to the period where mostly treaties. I can't even read that. Of the treaties of I said our powers of political allegiance with the King of France, 1282, the King of Agrago,
Aragon.
Agragon,
Aragon. Aragon.
Aragon,
Aragon.
1271, 1309, 1323, 1357, 1358. These are all treaties they have with the sovereign the sovereign with Morocco with the motherfucking
Damn, they go back to the 1200s.
right. This shit is deep, bro.
Yeah.
Excerpts for the commercial treaties and concluded with the present with the king of Major Khan, Major Khan,
Mallorca.
Major Khan,
Mallorca. Mo- Mallorca.
Major Khan.
Mallorca. Mallorca.
Right.
How do you pronounce that J? Is it like
It might
H?
be H. It might be my
Mahora.
Mahorjica.
Mahorca.
Mahorjica.
Mahorca. Mahorca.
Right.
Mahorca.
Right. So, I mean, this is all evidence. Is
Mallorca.
the evidence is there, bro?
Yeah.
Right. Who's the sovereign authority that rules over here?
Mm-hmm.
Right. And it's the Sultan. We can another example of that or evidence of that is the letter between George Washington and the Sultan of Morocco.
Okay.
Right. I think I got that here too.
Isn't there somewhere?
Huh?
Isn't there somewhere?
Yeah.
I'm a moral activist. Okay, he know.
You know he a Moor.
Mm-hmm.
Moro is another a Asian
That's
version
for
of
the
Moor.
Europe. I mean, for the Philip. Who the people
Right,
that been called Filipino.
right.
Yeah, the people that were conquered by Spain in Asia. Not too many Filipinos know who they are.
But a lot of them have that soul in them, and they really operate on that soul nature.
Yeah, but they're blind.
Right. Because remember what was that, K Day or and the dude named Theo
I think I
on,
remember
on
Theo.
K Day? The
Uh huh.
Asian, he was an Asian cat, but he sounded like a brother.
You sound like a brother.
Right. He's an Asian cat, but sound like a brother. Meaning,
Mm-hmm.
I'm just showing you that's in their DNA too. That's it. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Even China admits this. They got a video that I've seen where China geneticists admit that their origins is with melanated people.
Pretty much everyone.
Yeah.
That's,
So yeah. This is hold up. Is this the kind of memorial? It was something else I wanted to show. It was a list. It's a list of also this is good too because it talks about the state bank of Morocco,
mm-hmm.
right? I will finish, bro. You can go ahead and say you got to say that. I will finish with
Oh,
that. I just wanted to read that part where it says the rights of United States in Morocco.
okay. All right. Okay. So now I think they had another earthquake today.
Who?
Another earthquake, an aftershock.
Oh yeah. I
Yeah,
didn't.
5 pointer.
I think I did feel it a little bit, but it was so little that I guess.
Yeah, because it's down south, in Diego.
Oh, I thought down south that
Yeah,
Diego was down.
San Diego is down south from here.
Wow, I thought it was up north.
No, it was down south.
And
San
I'm saying
Diego.
I thought San Diego was up north.
No, we're up
Oh yeah,
north.
because they closer to the southern border. Yeah,
Yeah, they're next to
they're close.
Mexico.
They're close to the southern border.
Yeah. Now the Frisco, we're down south.
You talking about? You talking about? No, you talking about Frisco is up north. To us, it's
Yeah,
north to
I
us.
said from Frisco, we're down south.
Right.
Yeah, and compared to Frisco, we're down south.
Okay, I get
And
it.
compared to San Diego, we're up north.
I've never been to Frisco, but I've been to Sacramento.
It's too bad you haven't gone to Frisco already, because it used to be one of the most beautiful cities on the planet.
Oh, I've seen documentaries that said the same thing you just said.
I used to be there. I used to go there every weekend. When I lived in San Jose, I used to catch the bullet train there and
Oh,
pig
they do
out.
got the bullet train. Then I thought they never
No,
built
well,
it.
it's a mini bullet. It's the mini bullet. They only call it that because it's like the express. It doesn't make all the local stops. It only make a few stops in between. But if you get on the regular one, shit, you stopping like it's like a goddamn MTA line, Metro.
Right.
Yeah, got almost as many stops as
Yeah,
your
because they
regular.
supposed to be supposed to be connecting the Norfolk to the South with the bullet train they proposing, right?
They blew that money.
Oh, so then it's not going to happen anymore.
No, hell no. They already $16 billion. They already, that shit is in all the politicians' pockets. Just like the 20 billion that was set aside to take care of the homeless situation. That money's gone. and the
Right.
problem got
Because I
worse.
think they gave those to all the developers because they looked at the problem as just a housing problem and not just a mental illness problem and a mental illness problem and a drug problem, drug prevention
No,
problem.
I think what happened is what Doge is finding out. They're sending this money out to these non-profitable organizations, and then it's being funneled back to them.
Well, I think that I'm glad you said that because that kind of exposes what's happening with this big U shit, right? And
Yeah.
I told my homie, man, you better be careful because they're going after these nonprofits now. They're going to
Mm-hmm.
start going after these nonprofits and start auditing their books because of what they're doing with Big U. You know, we always are the jump off to everything they finna do. So anytime
Yeah.
they get one of us, you know they're going to
Mm-hmm.
go bigger. They use us as the examples.
Yeah. The first crash test dummy.
Yeah, we the first ones. So with this
Yeah.
Big U case, that's what I'm seeing is that now because the homie, I was telling them, man, you better be careful with your books now because they're going to be more scrutinizing people's financial books when you have a nonprofit. Because I've got a nonprofit where he basically he
And shit.
basically is he basically got he collects money for the homeless.
Mm. Oh, you
So
saw what you say.
But that's it. No, that I see why you said that. I wasn't seeing he was disingenuous or whatever. I don't know. I've never checked his books or whatever. He may be scheming or whatever. But it's going to be more scrutiny on these nonprofits now
Well, how many years have they been collecting money for the cure for sickle cell anemia?
and cancer and
every
diabetes and
every goddamn thing.
right.
So
And
just a
my
big
thing is,
scam.
as long as they've been researching for cancer, all that money that ain't got for cancer research, man, they should have been cured it by now.
They have. They got a cure. They got a cure for all that shit. It's just that there's no money in cures.
Yeah, there's really not.
No, okay, the money is in treatment.
And people don't even realize that they're the whole society is set up in a way that we have practices and we have behavior patterns that inevitably leads to sickness. It's an because you know you got two concepts in medicine, right? You got
Prevention.
huh?
Prevention.
No. You got germ theory, right?
Okay. Okay.
And you got territorial theory, right? Germ theory says that germs causes diseases, right?
Mm-hmm.
Territorial theory says that diseases are flourish. Diseases flourish in conducive climates.
Mm-hmm.
What
Environment.
that mean is if we have a condition and a behavior patterns that is conducive to these sicknesses, that's where sickness comes from. Now we reversed that and had an environment that's conducive to healing, people wouldn't get sick as much.
Yeah. Well, that's called preventive
Right,
prevention.
right. But
Yeah.
the modern medicine goes by germ theory.
Yeah. Well. Yeah. Well, because it's profitable.
Of course, I mean, and then when you understand germ theory, it's convenient to say that diseases are caused by drugs. I mean, by germs, so they can sell you all these other products associated with killing germs. And at the end of the
Mm-hmm.
day, guess what? Germs under the natural climate is
Mm-hmm.
how you heal yourself.
Mm.
Why? Because the one thing you have to do when you go to another environment that's you're not used to, because a lot of times people go to different parts of the
Yeah, and
planet
they
and they
get
get
sick
sick.
as a dog.
They get sick because they're not immune to the area, right?
Yeah,
You know how you, you know
bacteria.
how you Yeah, you know how the one in the ancient world, the way we got immunity from an area, we would go to the
Hmm.
lake, to the pond, whatever, and take some of the dirt or take some of the pond water and drink it.
Hmm.
Now your body's going to synthesize all the germs in the area now,
Oh, okay.
right? You
Yes.
take a couple of some dirt. You could even take some dirt, take a little bit of dirt, put it in your mouth, swallow it. Now you immune to this to the environment now.
Yeah. Well, speaking of dirt, I mean, like on some days, if it's hot and then
Mhm.
it's humid and muggy and it rains and you're near sand or cement, that shit smell good.
Right. You're right. Right.
It's like I must be lacking some minerals because I want to chow down on some rocks.
Right.
I mean, the mineral kingdom, we are a part of the mineral kingdom too.
Well, we do have that's a part of the essential minerals that we have inside. We got 99 essential minerals that the body needs,
Hmm.
and some of them are in the elements of nature.
Yeah, but melanin goes outside, goes outside of that. It's here and there at the same time.
Well, yeah, melanin basically is an elusive substance because they really can't. I don't think they have. So they saying they sell melanin is worth more than gold,
Mm.
right? It's worth more than
Hmm.
gold or whatever. But
Hmm.
I don't think they've isolated it. They've
Mm.
isolated on a molecular level, and that's just the essence of it is gone once you remove it from its source.
Yeah.
The essence of it is gone. But
Hmm.
they have like any to the Europeans, all they have to have is a remnants, and they can back engineer it and get some results from it.
Yeah.
You know
Hmm.
what I'm saying? They just need a remnants,
Yeah.
and
They're real
it won't be
crafty.
as effective as the organic stuff, but they have some type of. Is it like how they recently talked about how you really don't see no mummies because they ate them all.
Yeah, I heard about that.
They ate them all.
Yeah. Well,
These
shit,
people
they.
are savages.
Well, did you ever see that movie, Section 9, where those
Section 9
aliens? Yeah,
about
where
the
those
robot.
aliens? No, these alien
Oh yeah.
spaceships.
I heard about it. I never watched it though.
Yeah, but it was more political than science fiction. But this one guy, he ended up getting exposed to some alien substance. Those, I think it was melanin, it had to do with melanin, and he started growing these crab hands and shit. And he was turning into an alien, and so it was this. They were in Africa. They filmed this shit in Africa. It was this warlord in Africa that was paralyzed, and he wanted to be able to walk again. So he said, I'm gonna cut off your arms and your all your alien limbs, and I'm gonna eat them, and I'm gonna be able to walk again.
Hey, they think that, and you think if you think about it, that is how you assimilate something into the body. Because whatever you eat, you become it.
Yeah, you are what you eat.
Right. So
So
that is how you assimilate into your essence.
yeah, you chop up some super aliens and eat their ass, you're gonna become a super something like them.
Right.
Yeah, but also, like you say, you are what you eat. So that goes for the food that you take in mentally, the brain food. You are what you think.
You're right.
Yeah. I mean, we eat mentally. We have to have bread. We have to have our daily mental bread. or we go hungry. But if we're being fed garbage mentally, then that's what you're gonna become. But if you're being fed the good shit, like what we're getting fed in these studies, then is then you're gonna have a healthy brain, healthy mind.
Right.
Yeah. So this post millennium, this thing, this some real serious shit, and you know, to me, it's like one of the most important things that in my life at this time. I mean, shit, this is something to really live for and to die for.
Right.
But you want to live. You want to live through. I mean, imagine if we just. I want to live long enough to see us set up our own government and have our own government
Right. I do
in
too.
our own, in our own political system.
Right. Because
Just
the biggest
imagine us.
deterrent of that happening, the biggest deterrent of that happening is us.
Well,
Not
yeah.
even though they're gonna come with their infiltration. They're gonna come
Hmm.
trying to come in and interfering with what we're doing. Of course,
Hmm.
that should be
Hmm.
expected. If you'll be stupid not to
Yeah.
expect that.
Yeah, we expect that. But but to ha- but to have interference from within our own body
Well,
through.
we can't be naive. We can't be that naive to think that there's not going to be people amongst us that going to want to bring us down. That'll be naive for us to think otherwise.
Yeah. Hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I'm
Some people
always
will say.
mindful of that. I'm always gauging people. I'm always gauging people's genuincy. I'm always looking for these patterns in people, and I guess I'm profiling people in a certain way. I guess I don't know because I'm trying to find out genuine people from people who are just under subjugation of the mind and psychosis of the mind.
Hmm.
Because at the end of the day, as adults, as especially as because I noticed this whole um, I notice amongst us, we always are animate about when we're standing up against each other.
Hmm.
We animate about it when we stand up against each other, but as it pertains to standing up against what we've mistakenly have deemed as the most powerful nation on the earth, we look at it as so great and so unachievable that we just the spirit get broken. I talk to people all the time about this, brother, and it seemed like they feel like it's impossible or they hopeless about it. They really have no energy for it. And I'm like, I understand what that you're under subjugation. You have an inferiority complex.
And plus, they didn't grow up with listening to Bobby Hemmitt.
Yeah, that's true. They didn't have no real guidance in their life. That's real.
Yeah,
That's a real big factor in it.
if you listen to some of the hardcore Bobby Hemmett, he's
Right,
telling us he gave us the blueprints on what we need to win this war. And he says, not our ancestors left us the blueprints, and it's not physical. It's not a physical war. It's a spiritual war.
right,
And our weapons is the mind, and I mean it's our mind. It's that's our greatest weapon in this war. The science of our minds, bringing them together. You know, a group of minds work a whole lot stronger, a lot better than just one mind.
right.
I
That's how
mean, you
they've been
can have.
defeating us, though. They've been defeating us with that, with the reversal of us using our mind. They've they've been able to subjugate us continuously because we don't incorporate these disciplines like at entomology. I spoke to a whole group of brothers and sisters one day.
Yeah.
You know, a lot of people be want me to come on to their platforms and talk to their groups and shit, right?
Yeah.
Man, I swear, man, these people are backwards. These people are just suffering from a level of cognizant dissonance where it's like kind of hopeless.
Mm-hmm.
I was speaking to them and trying to give them an understanding of the importance of entomology and the root of words and having a firm grasp on that concept and that discipline. It's a discipline when you
Yeah.
understand. And I was teaching them how, in order for us to actually study,
Mm-hmm.
you have to take a grammar class. That's why I
Yes.
gave you that. You are you still there, brother?
Yeah. Yeah. I'm still here. I'm here.
All right.
I disappeared on you.
Did we get shut down?
Oh shit! Did a ghost?
I can't hear you.
You can't hear me? Well, I can hear you.
I
I
can't
can
hear
hear
you.
both. I can hear you. I can hear you.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Can you hear me?
Okay. I can. I can hear you. Did you? You must have. I'm not on mute.
I can't hear you, bro. I don't know what happened.
Yeah. Mm.
I think that's on your end. You got it on mute or something on your end.
No, I don't have it on mute. Now it says screen stop. It's on
Oh,
that.
you on the phone? Okay. So let me continue what I'm saying.
No, I'm on. I'm on my.
Can
I'm
you
on my
hear me?
laptop. Yes. Yes.
Okay. So I think something's wrong on your end
Yeah,
because
I can
nobody can
hear.
hear you.
Shit. I can hear you.
I can't see that.
You can't see that?
I can't see what you're trying to show me.
Well, I was. Oh shit! That ain't gonna work either. Oh well.
This is crazy.
The bugs. We're bugged.
I still can't hear you.
Okay. You, well, you should. I can
Go
hear
out and come
you.
back in.
Okay.
Go out and come back in.
All right. Shit. I keep. Can you hear me now?
Hello?
Yes. You hear me?
I still can't hear you.
Damn.
Well, that's the bullshit. I don't know what's going on. Can you hear me now?
Oh, I never stopped.
I can still can't hear you though. So I
Yeah,
don't know
yeah.
what's
I can
going
hear
on.
you. Yeah, I can hear you, but you can't hear me. You hear me? Can you hear me?
You gotta check. You gotta check and see if your shit on mute.
It's not on mute. I don't even have. Where am I? Oh, no, it's not on mute. No. Mm.
Just call in.
Okay.
You don't got your shit on mute.
Okay. All right. Okay. Can
Hello?
you hear? Yeah. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I hear you.
Okay. All right. So I'll just put that over there.
Yeah, I hear you.
Okay.
What's wrong with you? Think your shit ain't on? You think your shit on mute?
No, it's not on mute. No. If it was on mute, it'd be red. It's white. Everything is white. Nothing's red.
Yeah, they trying to throttle our shit, man. That's all that is.
Yeah.
They
Someone,
throttling this shit, man. Cause ain't no
someone.
way I shouldn't be able to hear you right now. I don't know. I don't got it on mute. You don't got it on mute. Why we can't hear you?
I don't know.
That's bullshit.
I know, shit, man. Let me tell you something. All kind of weird shit's been going on with these damn computers, man.
I noticed that too.
I'm
I
like with my
noticed.
charts, like the chart that I like to use, the 90-minute chart. Every time when I put one up, when I go back to it and I refresh the screen, it won't come back. And it's the chart that I have to use to trade. And then I go on a different website and get the same platform and pull it up again, and I'll be able to get it. And then come back the next day, and they'll take it off, and I have to go. I have to keep going to different platforms to get the same thing. And it's just only on the charts that I'm using. It's not on the day, weekly, or monthly charts. It's on the 90-minute, 60-minute, 40-minute, 10-minute, 1 minute, 5 minute, the ones that you need to day trade with, because they're tired of me whooping their ass. Because
So they tired of that shit.
yeah, and then I have the nerve not to be in the market when it's doing all this crazy shit and just be sitting on the sideline with a profit. Oh goddamn, I'm pissing the devil off.
Right.
Yeah, broke the code. Shit, I'm out doing
Can
the
you
machine.
still see my screen though?
Huh?
Can you still see the screen?
Oh yeah, I have no problem with the screen.
Okay.
It's just now we're gonna have the echo. Well, you're gonna be echoing. I'm gonna hear you twice.
Oh, I'm echoing.
Yeah, I hear you twice because I hear you there and I hear you here.
Oh yeah, I'm on the phone too, so that's gonna be a feedback.
Yeah. But that's the only way you can hear me.
Huh?
It's
Yeah, 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 yeah. I can't hear you otherwise.
huh? You
No,
hear
I
me?
wouldn't be able to hear you otherwise.
Yeah,
Like
you.
I said, they something going on with the program. I don't know because it ain't my side, it ain't my end. You say it ain't your end, so it got to be something with the program
Yeah, something with the program.
or whatever. StreamYard, how they set their shit up.
Well,
But I can't complain because it's free. So
hey, beggars can't be choosy.
right,
Yeah, it's free.
not
Shit, what the
complain.
fuck you expect? You get what you pay for. Oh, we didn't pay. Dark matter and dark energy, normal matter. Mm. So this is a trip. You see that 5% normal matter? You know what that represents?
What?
The part of our brain that we use.
God damn.
The
Wow.
dark matter and the dark energy.
Because yeah, I get it because it's all based in sensory perception, and that's what matters. It matters is it being conducive to the sensory perception.
Yeah. So the other part of our brain that we don't use is the dark matter and dark energy. The melanin, the the death side. Because melanin is crushed death. It's what's left over from a guy that died a long time ago.
Right.
Yeah.
But that's crazy how the mass majority of the cosmos is made up of substance that's undetectable by modern machinery, modern technology.
Yep. Because it's not on this. It's not in our frequency, but it is in our frequency.
But well, we can see the effects of it on the cosmos as a whole. You can literally see the effects of it.
Yeah.
We can't see it, but we see the effects of it.
Uh-huh.
You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
so
Damn.
that's so it really dark matter, dark energy is somewhat a theory. It is not somewhat, but it is a theory to the
Mhm.
extent that modern science hasn't been able to detect it.
Yeah.
But
It's
it's a theory is not necessarily not true or is true, or because a theory is just something that is scientifically sound, right? It's scientifically sound, meaning we can detect it there, like dark energy is detectable. We can see a effect that some type of substance is having on the cosmos here, right?
yeah.
But they can't detect it, so they dismiss it and say that it's theoretical. Meaning theoretical doesn't mean that it's not real or it's not. It's a guess. It's a
In other
estimate.
words, they can't
Huh?
explain it.
Right. That's why I love theoretical physics. Because
Uh-huh.
theoretical physics, all of your cartoon anime and your Marvel comics, your DC universe movie, they're based in theoretical physics
Yeah.
because they can create these uh, fantasy world, these fantasy characters based on some understanding of physics and science, but not a clear detection of all of these theories or these educational guesses.
It's a mystery. It's
You can imagine shit in theoretical physics. In
yeah.
theoretical physics.
Mm-hmm. Or you can assimilate it, or you can do it in a simulation through a computer.
Right.
Yeah.
So yeah.
All right, that could be another aspect of the multiverse.
Well, I had a image on here. I had an image on here that explains the multiverse.
Yeah.
See if I can find that.
Well, hey, the subject that really matters. Hey, there go Abdullah.
Say that again.
There go Abdullah.
Where you at?
Right here. The-
Oh yeah.
he's looking at. He's checking. He's looking in
No,
at
I
him.
was taking pictures of the Morris Monday when they was talking about the how the United States got established through secession treaties.
Mm-hmm. Oh
And they
yeah.
were these are some of the pictures. They was on the program and they got caught up in the picture too. I was just trying to take the picture.
And now, let me ask you: how in the hell were they able to do land surveys at that time and to draw the map? And
Say that again.
the land surveys, and how were they able to do that? To be able to draw these maps back then, and they had they couldn't go up in the air and see this shit.
They couldn't go in the air. Well, there's technology that they had available in that time that allowed them to map things. That technology is so they can use things like um, trigonometry, and there are other mathematical technology that they had that was able to be able to survey the land. Come on.
Mm, interesting.
I didn't know you were doing it this week, girl.
You know, I was doing what this week?
The class. We'll do something on next week. We can start next week. But yeah.
You have a charger? I'm trying to charge my iPad. I mean, my laptop. I don't know what the hell my charger is. I can't find it. I'm gonna have to just buy me less time.
Okay, so yeah.
Now, who was the United States of Mexico?
The United States of Mexico was and then basically a part of basically was the colonizers, a part of Spain. Spain and being
Mm-hmm. So, okay, so that was enough. That was a Spanish um, territory. Well, obviously it's Mexico, but that was territory that was controlled by Spain.
right. Well, let's look it up though.
Put it up to YouTube. I did all that.
The what was it called again?
Hmm?
Are you there?
I'm here.
What was it called? The United States of Mexico?
Mexico. Yeah.
Huh?
Yes. Because I heard that name mentioned in the um, territorial sovereignty situation with that was part. Okay, you had the Louisiana Purchase, and then the and all the other territory, and then and I think California and Nevada, that was controlled by the United States of Mexico.
Well, that's just another name for Mexico. The United States of Mexico is just Mexico,
Okay.
right? And it's like it says Mexico, officially the United Mexican States. It is a country in North America. It borders the United States to the north and Guatemala and Brazil to the southeast. right? While having maritime boundary with the maritime, that's key right there, maritime boundary with the Pacific Ocean the to the water to the west, the Caribbean Sea to the southeast, and the Gulf of Mexico to the east. So that's just United. The United States of Mexico is just Mexico. That's just
Okay. Now, but it's not the same Mexico that it is today, though, is it? Because
yeah.
okay, so
All of these states are nowhere near what they were originally. They've all become different things from that time to now. Of course,
mhm.
they've transformed.
so so that means we're gonna have a claim with Mexico too.
Well, Mexico is Spain.
Yeah,
The
true.
claim with Spain, not necessarily Mexico. The
Okay,
claim with
so
Spain. That area was that's the that's a territorial sovereignty of Spain.
okay, all right. So then, when we make the claim with Spain, it will be with them too.
Right.
Okay, and
Well,
and
all of the
that's for and that's for all this land on the west coast, on the on in the Pacific Northwest.
but yeah, this is the one he broke down how the Article 4, Section 3 of the United States Constitution lay out the procedure for the United States to maintain and manage our Moorish land. This evidence of the continuation of European discovery, conquest, colonization, and subjugation of Moorish land. The article gives the United States Congress territorial sovereignty over Moroccan land. I mean Moorish land,
Hmm.
right?
Yeah.
The territorial sovereignty was transferred to the United States by various treaties with Great Britain, France, Spain, the United States of Mexico, and Russia.
Yeah, yeah. Russia too.
Today, Congress is exercising territorial sovereignty over Moroccan land, Moorish land.
Yep. Russia too. I know. I heard about that one. That's Alaska, of course.
Right.
Hmm.
This is the clause 2 of the Constitution. It said territory and other properties. The Congress shall have power to dispute of any make all need for full rules and regulations respecting the territory or other properties belonging to the United States, and nothing in the Constitution should be so construed as to prejudice any claim of the United States or of any particular state.
Hmm.
All right, this is a continuation of that. The relationship between the states and
So this the United States own stolen property.
well, it was transferred over to the they don't own shit.
Yeah.
Uh,
It was
the power
really
of
big.
Congress over the public territory is clear, exclusive, and universal, and their legislation is subject to no control, but is absolute and unlimited unless so far as it is affected by stipulations in the secessions or by the ordinance of 1787, under which any part of it has been settled by the power of Congress to regulate the other national properties, unless it has acquired any secession of the state exclusive jurisdiction. It's not necessarily exclusive in all cases. If the national government owns a fort, ammunition,
Arsenal.
hospital, or lighthouse, seceded, established not so it's seceded. The the general jurisdiction of the state is not excluded in regards to the site, but subject to the rightful exercise of power of the national government. It remains in full force.
Mm.
They talking about the territorial sovereignty, basically.
Okay.
And the territorial sovereignty is distinct from heritage heritage rights to the land. That's territorial sovereignty is just a political, geographical aspect. You know what I'm saying? The United States is just a political, geographical term. It's not denoting the land.
Yeah,
it doesn't denote the land.
It's a jurisdiction.
It's a jurisdiction, yeah, that was established through secession treaties.
Yeah.
Right? But territorial sovereignty and relinquished to the United States with line border
land
boundaries. Secession treaties with Great Britain, France, Spain, United States of Spain, and Mexico, and Russia, and the subjugation and annexing of Kingdom of Hawaii. International law protects principles. Acquiescence of territory. That's what they did to conquer and conquest doctrine. Right? They acquiesced the land. They acquiesced us and through us claiming to be black.
Mm-hmm.
Right? And they subjugated us under that lack of understanding and our lack of acting in our proper capacity, right? Which is owners and the landlords. We the landlords.
Yeah.
Right.
But, until we got knocked over the head and given a new identity.
We not operating like the landlords right now. So of course, trading places.
Yeah, trading places.
Right. So now they're acting like the landlords.
Yeah. They're in our house.
Even though nobody questions why they can't drill. Remember, that was the issue of them drilling in certain areas. They can't because the territorial sovereignty only extends to certain areas of this land.
Now,
right? It don't extend to the whole land. They don't have jurisdiction over the whole land. Remember,
what about the land they're selling off to all these foreigners?
Huh?
What are they selling to these foreigners?
They're not selling off land. They're selling off the territorial sovereignty, the area of the jurisdiction there, and they're basically the erection on the land. They're not selling the land. They can't sell the land. Now, when it comes to territorial sovereignty,
yes,
they're not selling necessarily. They're selling the geographical, that geographical political area.
Jurisdiction.
That makes sense.
Right?
It only exists on paper. Like all of these maps that you see, they don't represent our land. Doesn't represent our land. It represents the political jurisdiction that was established through secession treaties.
Interesting.
Right? It doesn't denote the land. Right? Loss of sovereignty, laws of secession, right? Territorial sovereignty, acquisition of nationality through subjugation and secession, change of sovereignty and its effects upon the inhabitants. Article 4 Article 4, Section 3 of the United States Constitution, uh, um, 14th
14th
Amendment of
Amendment.
1868, the member states and union birthright, the member states of the union birthright birthright certificate,
Yeah.
right? Because they have a birthright certificate based on what they were seceded certain rights through the treaty. So they got territorial sovereignty. Now we would have to. I got to go back to territorial sovereignty.
So the birth certificate is a form giving up your birthright.
Um, well, yeah, yeah. If you don't, if you don't correct your status, that's where correcting your status comes from. And now, ultimately, correcting our status, the government has to do that. The Moorish government has to correct all of our status.
Mhm.
I was taught that individually we have to go to the United and put on the record that the presumptions that they have about us are wrong,
Yeah.
right? And we have to correct the record. They're calling us black. We have to tell them we're Moors.
Yeah.
They're saying that we're American citizens. No, we're Moroccans,
Yeah.
right?
And
So we
this is
correct the
Morocco.
record from that. But now I'm realizing that the government has to do that. All this individual. One more got one document that says one thing, and another more got another document that says one. It's all confusion to the when you're dealing with them from understanding of a governmental, structural, procedural way of doing things. It's protocol,
Mm-hmm.
right? We bypassing the protocol because we don't got a government set up,
Uh-huh.
right? You can't go
And,
directly to a government and start talking to them about uh, issues that we have as individuals and shit. No,
and,
the government
and,
speaks to the people's issues,
and this is international law.
huh?
And this is international law.
Right? They can't address. They don't even have the power to address it. If you really think about it, that's why we go over their heads to their political mothers, which is Spain, France, Great Britain. That's their political mother.
Yeah. Now, will we also be dealing with Russia too?
Man, from my understanding, to an extent, because certain areas of the land was being they had jurisdiction over. I'm not sure. I'm not really sure about that. I
Mm-hmm.
was really just introducing it, so I'm gonna have to ask him because I'm writing down a gang of questions to ask Abdullah.
Now, what about Canada?
Huh?
What about Canada?
Canada is a British colony, or British political zone that belongs to Britain.
Okay, so the Moors didn't have shit to do with Canada.
Say that again.
Did the Moors? That's not Moorish territory either. Canada.
All of this is Moorish territory, brother.
Oh, okay. So then,
All of this. See, I don't think you understand this.
yeah. Okay, so then,
The European powers are only over here based on territorial sovereignty. These are
that
political zones that they were granted privilege to come over here by other tribes to even conduct business. But prior to that, to conduct business on the land that the Sultan gave them permission to do. And then some of the indigenous people, they had treaties with some of the Algonquin Treaty with the Algonquin Confederation, and they had a treaty with the it was the Algonquin. Well, that's the only one I can think of right now, but it's the one good one that you can do research and understand that relationship they had with the indigenous people, which with Britain and the United States, is the Camp Holmes Treaty. Camp Holmes Treaty,
mm-hmm.
right? And you can get reading these treaties and understanding that history will give you a broader understanding of that period of history and how it developed into what we see this right now. It seems confusing when you think about it, right? Because we're talking about a period between the 1600s to the motherfucking 1900s, right?
Yeah.
And it's a big portion of time that we're trying to address and stuff. It's a big portion of time, so it's kind
Yeah.
of hard to address it because you can be all over the place if you're not chronologically sound.
Yeah. Yeah. And so you need a tight curriculum, uh, a tight curriculum to sit down to
Yeah,
be.
we already got it. Abdullah has laid it down very soundly, and all you got to do is do the due diligence. Go over it. That's why I got these pictures right here. My
Mhm.
visual aid is helping me with this shit because all I do is sit here and go through these pictures and read some of these documents that I have right here and go through them and
Yeah.
start. And I get a greater understanding. I get a broader perspective on these historical insights, these historical events that happen.
Yes. Okay.
You
And
gotta do the due diligence.
I have the chip too, so I just have to plug in.
Well, yeah, I don't think you have this one because it was a new one that I did
Oh.
after. You know, that chip is the result of years of me just collecting. The one you got,
Mm-hmm.
that was the result of years of me just collecting all type of knowledge, videos, visual aids, and years of just doing that shit. And that was the culmination of that. And I was starting on a new one. So this is this new one that I was doing.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? So you can get this one too. Just give me a USB
Yeah,
and I'll
I can get
transfer it
that.
over.
Yeah. Sure.
Oh
Well,
yeah, this was it right here. This is the explanation I was talking about.
oh, okay. Multiverse, universe, galaxy, stars, planetary system, planets, cells, molecules, atoms, string. So they're all pretty much damn near the same thing.
Right. See, and it's set up like a grid where it's 0, negative, no, positive 1, positive 2, positive 3, negative 2, negative 1, negative 2, negative 3, and string. When you get down the string, it basically folds upon itself, and the strings is basically what how the conditions of the multiverse are played out because of the string. You understand string theory, right?
Yeah, I've heard of that. Yeah. Mhm.
Okay, so string theory is basically saying that the whole universe consists of these strings of vibration,
Mhm.
right? And all the known universe exists on these strings of vibration,
Mm.
right? And it kind of explains the nature of the universe being nothing more than a vibratory set of higher vibration, lower vibration, or higher overtones, lower overtones, and things of that nature.
Mhm. Forming into
So
matter.
it's kind of similar to the musical scale.
Mm.
Kind of similar to not kind of similar. It is similar to the musical scale. Meaning, when you look at the musical scale and see how there are higher tones, there are lower tones, and there are even tones that exist outside of the sensory comprehension or conceptual understand. I mean, grasping. Like, for example, a dog whistle, right? We can't hear it, but dogs can hear that frequency.
Yeah. Uh-huh. Yeah, they
It's
have.
the same thing with how the universe is broken down.
Yeah.
The
There's
whole universe is broken down based on these principles of higher tones, lower tones.
mm-hmm. Okay. Well, shit, it's getting late.
Oh yeah, that was an advertisement for my show that I do late nights and shit.
Mm. Mhm.
Go ahead and speak about the what you was talking about earlier about your full moon ritual or your
Oh, the moon magic.
moon magic.
Yeah. Okay. On the new moon, when the moon is at its lowest point, that's when you do your positive ritual, meaning you do a ritual to attract the things into your life that you want to attract into your life. And then as you know, each full moon, those things will manifest more and more and more. Now, after the full moon, you do a negative ritual. The negative ritual, meaning you're um, um, repelling the things from you that you don't want. Like you're repelling negative energy from you, which you're doing rituals for protection against the negativity. So that's the negative ritual is for your protection. The positive ritual is for bringing things into your life that you want, and this shit works. It may not work every week. You might don't do a ritual on on the new moon and say you want to be a millionaire by the full moon and expect for that shit to happen. It's not okay. You're gonna wake up and still be in the same financial situation that you probably were, but something good might happen that day. You might win. You might go to the store and get a scratch off and win $50 or something. But you got to be very specific, and not only that, this you got to already have a life purpose. You already have to have something you're pursuing in life that you're trying to bring in from the invisible world into this world. This ritual helps you do that because you're cultivating the energy using the fucking cosmos, cultivating energy that's going to help you manifest whatever the fuck it is you need done in your life, and also repel the things from you that you don't want. In other words, by doing these negative rituals, you may go outside and instead of getting hit by that car, it's gonna miss you by an inch. And you you might do something real stupid, not be thinking, and almost get killed. But it's you're saved by an inch. Or you're gonna go out and have a nice day and nothing happened. But something probably would have happened, but you got shit blocking for you. And you're gonna have great days. Shit gonna go your way. You keep doing this, things are gonna start going your fucking way. And the reason why it's going your fucking way is because you're programming it to go your way. You're now writing your own program in the matrix. Writing programs. and and so now on a broader scale, this is something that we can do to help bring in this post-millennium process.
Right.
Yeah, this is the magic that we can use to, you know, put ourselves closer and closer and closer to where we must be in order to tip things over into our favor. This is how we're going to bring in the energy that we need to move forward, and also protect us from the things that we're going to be coming up against, and that's going to try to give us opposition, because we're going to need protection against the opposition. This fucking beast ain't no joke. This motherfucker will kill his own mother in front of you to show you how fucked up he is.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, at the end of the day, they also are doing their spiritual work to what ends it could affect change in their interest of what they want to come about and their intent.
Mm-hmm.
So you always have to have a counter spells to their spells and shit. This what you see on your screen right now is evidence of all of these states being subordinate to Morocco.
Damn.
How do I know that? How do we know this? Right? All of these states are subordinate to Morocco
Mm-hmm.
because of these treaties they have with Morocco, right?
Yeah.
Look, this is a list of all the treaties, right?
Yes.
From 1631 to 1906, right?
Mm-hmm.
The list of annexes, the treaties and conclusions concluded by Morocco from 1631 to 1906, right? The word annexes, right? Annexes, right? They
Yeah.
use the word the list of annexes, right?
Uh-huh.
Is that what they said?
Yes, and a nexus. Uh-huh. Yes.
Okay, annexes means appended or added as a extra or subordinate part, especially to a document. So all these, basically what they're saying is that all these states are subordinate to Morocco.
Now, let's get one thing straight. We're not talking about the Kingdom of Morocco that was established in 1957.
I mean, it's clear that you can't be talking about the Kingdom of Morocco when it says 1631.
But most people don't know that.
Right?
They automatically relate this.
Look, these treaties ended. These treaties the list of treaties ended in 1906.
Yeah.
That was 50 years before there was a Kingdom of Morocco.
Yeah. So this has, and like you said before, the Kingdom of Morocco was set up through almost the same thing, a post-millennium.
Right. And they went, France helped them and aided them in setting up their state based on pre-existing sovereignty.
Yeah. So, duh. So we can be the next Morocco over here.
I mean, that's our political mother.
Yeah.
That's our political mother. Morocco is our political mother.
Yeah, and it's not a place; it's a state.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's not a landmass or a place.
Morocco?
Yeah, it's a
landmass. What are you talking about?
Yeah, it's a land. I mean,
it's a vast landmass, though. It's a landmass, but it has it's a next. That's why they use the word annexation. Annexation means for it's a word used by empire. An empire annexates another landmass. This is how vast the Moorish Empire was. An empire is a state that extends beyond its original country, its original borders. It extends beyond that because it grows in its political influence. It grows in its political power.
Yeah.
So that's the difference between a normal state and an empire.
Yeah. Damn.
There's two different things. Because a normal state can become an empire. You got the British Empire, you got the Spanish Empire, and all they're saying when they say empire is that they expanded beyond their country's borders. And they have annexated land that's now under their political jurisdiction.
Yeah, I get that. And that land that they annex is our land, is Moorish land. that land, the land that they've annexed is Moorish land.
By birthright, by heritage, we got the land claimed. Why? Because there's a concept in international law called First Nation claim,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Yeah.
Meaning the first nation that was there has the original claim on the land. They have the original title of
Okay.
land.
That's us. Damn.
Yes, we the original people, aren't we? We have the original claim.
I mean, god damn,
No
no
one
one.
else, no one else can make that claim besides us, brother. So that
Mm.
makes us the birthright claimees.
I mean, based on that, I mean, how in the hell can we sell out to something inferior to what we already have? Because that's what you're doing. You're selling out to something inferior,
You say you
even
selling out.
though even though it appears to be superior at this time, but it really isn't. It only appears to be. And but left up to it, if it has its way, it will forever completely delete us out of our birthright and continue on with the subjugation of us on our land and the continual rule of our land.
Man, this kind of memorial, I've been reading this, bro. It's
Mm-hmm.
giving a major game.
Okay.
This kind of memorial is giving a game. Mind you, this kind of memorial was done years after these other European nations ratified the treaty with Morocco. So this is United States coming back after the fact, right? And
Yeah.
claiming that we got privileges in the treaty too. We got rights in Morocco too,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Yeah.
This is interesting how they're fighting to have privilege in Morocco. It's similar to what happened in the Moroccan Crisis 1 and Moroccan Crisis 2.
Okay.
You know what? I'm gonna bring up all my documents for Moroccan Crisis 1 and Moroccan Crisis 2 because I've been gathering up a lot of information on that.
Mm-hmm.
Because Moroccan Crisis 1 and Moroccan Crisis 2 is also an example of European nations fighting over Moroccan extraterritorial jurisdiction over a certain land.
Mm-hmm.
And that mind you, France had most favored nation in those treaties, and that France was one of the first countries that the Moorish Empire or the Moroccan Empire had relations with.
Yes.
So they became most favored nation in those treaties, and they became custodians for Moroccan extraterritorial jurisdictional power.
But at the same token, though, it could have been Spain, though, because actually that's where the Moors were pretty much stationed at.
Said it again.
It could have been Spain. I mean, why was it France and not Spain?
Well, Spain, remember, if you study, I mean, I know you probably don't remember, but if you study the Moroccan Crisis 1 and 2, right, it was discovered that there was a secret relationship between France and Spain, right?
Yes.
And this basically caused a conflict between the other European nations because they were like, it's basically saying that we deserve a piece of Morocco's extraterritorial or being able to maneuver now, because what happened was they wasn't able to maneuver and expand their seafood component of their state because they didn't have that access to these to be able to go to these certain areas that were under Moroccan jurisdiction.
Mm-hmm.
It became a big power struggle. France having all this, having this special relationship with Morocco, right?
Yeah.
They had the power in their hand. France had the power in their hand.
Okay.
Mind you, what I told you, they created what? The French Protectorate.
Mm-hmm.
What was the French Protectorate of? Morocco. Meaning they was protecting the integrity of the treaties. They were protecting the integrity of Morocco, right? Because the Sultan had fell into debt, and he didn't want Morocco. He didn't want Morocco to
end up going to the dog.
affected by his personal debt, right? So he gave custodialship over Morocco's extraterritorial jurisdiction and the treaties being the treaty stipulated and enforcing the treaty stipulation. This shit is interesting when you really broke it down, and I don't hear them talk about this shit in American history.
No, hell no.
They don't talk about this shit.
No, hell no. We talking about the Magna Carta and shit. Goddamn,
Right.
the goddamn Boston Tea Party and shit.
Right, which is all a gang of fluff that they want. They don't want to get to the real issue, so they gave us a gang of fluff.
Yeah, the George Washington crossing the Delaware River. Okay.
Oh, this old drama shit.
Well, that's the shit we got.
But they don't want to tell you how they learned constitutional principles from the Algonquin Confederation. That's how they were able to structure their constitution. How are they going able? How y'all think that these motherfucking pilgrims, settlers? Let's be real. The Europeans that came over here in the colonies, right?
Mm-hmm.
They were all basically paying off debt to the king, right? And they came off to work off their debt.
Yeah.
So even the original peasants that came when the colonies came, they were in servitude.
Yeah.
They were in servitude to the king. They were indebted to the king. So they had to come over here work out their debt. Mind you, the penal colonies, what you call the penal colonies, was actually the plantation. Right?
Yeah.
So they were sending a lot of their criminals over here.
Yeah, they're worse.
They were sending a lot of their criminals to pay off their debt to the crown. So, and we understand these dynamics. See, I'm just saying all this stuff because all of these different dynamics give you a broader understanding of what really went down.
Yeah.
They don't give us nothing but this little anecdotal experiences and events that it's politically in their interest to give us the bullshit ass story, and they take it out of context.
Yeah.
They put it in a whole other context, then they present it to you, and then these are the events that made up what we call American history.
Yeah.
When if America, you can't have American history without talking about Morocco. How the hell you gonna have American history and not mention Morocco one time?
I never heard of Morocco or
no, you probably did hear of Morocco, but not in the context of these documents that I'm reading to you that are actual legitimate documents that they are adhering to this day.
The first time I heard about Moors was this Jew talking about the movie True Romance with
yeah. I remember that. I remember they talking about that.
Christian Slater.
That was when he said
you're part eggplant.
Your bloodline is half
eggplant.
nigga.
What he said, eggplant.
Eggplant.
Yeah, because the Moors came over here.
Hey, Quentin Tarantino, he think he's slick, man.
Yeah.
He think he's slick. He's a very intelligent, he's a very aware. He's like a Donald Trump amongst the Europeans, right? Because Donald Trump is antagonizing because he is aware of a certain thing, and there's a prophecy that's talked about with Trump, right? The red hair man, or the red hat man, right?
Yeah. Or
In ancient tribal prophecy in the indigenous people of here, right? And they talked about him coming and actually making room or creating a path for indigenous government structure to come back online.
Damn. This shit. Damn.
Right? Because what he's doing, look, see, we think the tariff is just him standing on business against other countries, right?
Mm-hmm.
We think the tariffs is just him standing on business for other countries, right? But
Yeah.
the tariffs is just to invoke a reaction from the other nations. It was meant to invoke an international response from other countries that are affected by the tariffs, right? China being one of them. China, as a result of this embargo, I won't call it an embargo, but a trade war. As a result, they countered it and said, okay, we're going to expose all your luxury companies, Burberry, Gucci, all of these expensive
Louis
luxury
Vuitton.
companies. We're going to expose that y'all are manufacturing no goods in China for cheap as fuck and selling it in America for 1,000 times its profit.
Damn, needless markup. That's what they call what's Nemus Marcus? They call it needless markup. This is needless markup. I mean,
and some are saying that Trump is doing this purposely because you know what happened was from day one. I've said this. Go back to my old broadcast, and you would notice in some of my old broadcasts, I used to do blog talk. I've always been on the internet talking this real shit, right? And I've said this before that there are certain elements or certain entities that are collapsing the United States government on purpose. They're collapsing it on purpose. I think Donald Trump is a part of that collapsing, that purpose collapsing. He's purposely doing things that's going to inevitably expose the inconsistency and the corruption of this economy, and it's going to eventually bring it down.
Yeah, I mean they're exposed to some crazy shit today. Ooh,
say that again.
They just exposed some crazy shit today, and it has something to do with Harvard University, where they were getting like $600 million or something, or $60 million from the Federal Reserve and shit, and they were having all these demonstrations. The lefties, far right left, just having all these, fuck Donald Trump demonstrations, Trump derangement parties. And he said, you know what? Since you guys going to keep doing this shit, I'm going to, take away your funding, and then I'm going to take away your 501c3 status. Okay.
Yeah, Trump shaking up shit, man. Trump shaking up shit.
Yeah. And Obama came out there with his little ass talking shit. Yeah.
Obama ain't nothing but a puppet, so you need to shut up.
Yeah.
Trump is doing what you ain't got the backbone to do.
Well,
Obama.
Yeah, well, Obama, he was the first president to paint the White House rainbow.
Right. We want to. My thing is, to me, Obama ain't nothing more than a sophisticated house nigga, man. He's a sophisticated yes a mouthful type of ass nigga, man.
What was that movie Shango? With the part where
Samuel,
Samuel, yeah, that's Obama.
that's what I meant to do one day. We were playing that game. We were playing that game where you say a part of a movie and then you
Mhm.
guess what movie you're talking about.
Yeah.
I was starting to say that in that game. We was playing that game with me, my wife and her family and shit.
Hmm.
I started to say that part where Samuel saw Jamie Foxx on the horse by himself and
Yeah.
not with chains. Oh, it's an earthquake. You feel it?
No, I don't feel it.
Huh? You feel it?
No. No.
Yeah, I felt it.
Damn. Okay.
But the scene where Jamie Foxx came on the nag, he didn't come in chains. He came on the horse with the rest of them like he was free, right? He was a freeman, right? Because that's who he represented in the movie. You know that, right? He represented a freeman,
Okay.
huh?
I said okay.
So in that scene where they reached the plantation and Samuel came out the building and he see Jamie Foxx on the horse and he's like, "Who that nigga on that nag?"
Yeah. Mhm.
Did you see Jago? You seen
I
Jago?
think I think I've seen that part, but I heard you mention that.
You man, it's online. Watch it, man. That shit is
Yeah.
online right now. I think
Hmm.
the whole movie's on YouTube.
Okay.
All right, go watch that shit because it got a lot of significant parts in it. It got a lot of significant historical references and that really confirm what we've been saying all this time. You know what I'm
Okay.
saying about the conditions of the plantation and all that stuff. They were kind
Yeah.
of giving you insight. Another movie that's good is 12 Years a Slave. That one is
Hmm.
very good. That's a very insightful movie about what was really going on around that time period.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? But
Yeah.
when Samuel L. said, "Who that nigga on that nag?" Right?
Yeah.
That shit like culminated the nigga attitude about other. It's a crab because he immediately had a crab in a barrel mentality with another brother who he deemed as he ain't no better than me type of. You know what I'm saying? That we have that
Yeah.
complex with each other, bro. Bad.
In other words, who that nigga think he is coming
Right.
here?
Right. Nigga,
Yeah. Who
I
the
ain't
devil?
there, so why that nigga there?
Yeah.
Nigga, you
Who the
don't even
hell he
care
think
why
he
he's
is?
there. You don't even care why he made it to that. You just care that, oh, I ain't there and that nigga there. I hate
Yeah.
myself that much that I don't even see one of myself because we are just reflection of each other.
Yeah.
I am you, you are me. That
Yeah. But
concept that the Rastafarians say, I and I.
yeah. But that Jim Crow ain't no joke, dude. They did that Jim Crow. They Jim Crowed us.
Well, Jim Crow was nothing more than them putting us under certain conditions, right? So that
Hmm.
we develop the mentality that we think their water is wetter, their grass is greener on the other side type shit.
Yeah.
And it wasn't.
Yeah. And which
Right?
kind of put
That's
us
all
against
Jim
each.
Crow really did is create this stigma in our head that, oh, they're better over there. They got better conditions over there. They got better, and it wasn't. It's some
No.
bullshit. The whole basis of what became the civil rights movement, the whole root of it is based in an inferiority complex that we
Mm.
had.
Yeah.
And it was based in our fear. It was also based in our fear of being self-reliant. We don't believe in ourselves enough to do for ourselves.
Yeah. Well, because of that 400-year conditioning. Well, of the servant. the forced servitude, and the Gullah Wars, Sentinel Wars, and taking away of all. We had our kids, our babies taken from us, and re-educated by the enemy and re-indoctrinated. So they did a real good number.
Well, they kind of what they did was they contained, because we had like you just mentioned, the Seminole War, the Gully Wars. We had been having wars with these motherfucking Europeans for years, right?
Yeah.
And they start attacking us. They employed every military strategy on us as a people that they could ever employ. Psychological warfare, physical warfare, emotional warfare. They still continue to attack. That's why I keep on
Mental
telling my people
warfare.
that they continue to attack. They continue to have a posture of war against us.
Yeah.
They continue to have that. We have laxed up and got this kumbaya ass attitude and let our guards down, and now we just the most vulnerable motherfuckers on the planet right now.
Yeah, we like shit. God damn, we just walking around with a big ass target on us.
But let it be. But let another nigga step on my feet. We
Oh,
about to
I'll
go to
fuck you
war.
up, nigga. I'll fuck you up, nigga. Who the
Let
hell you
another
think you
nigga step on
fucking
my
with?
foot again. We going to war. I'ma shoot that
You
nigga.
fucked with the wrong nigga, fool.
I'm like, look, it was this one sister that came. She got a USB from me, right? And it didn't work in her thing, right?
Yeah.
And she came back with the anger of the gods trying to. She said I was gonna come back with my gun, right?
Yeah.
I was like, wow, I'm a human. I make mistakes. You can bring it back and I can trade it instead of thinking this evil thought of I'm gonna come with my gun for a USB that's cost less than $10. So you gonna kill me
Oh god
over
damn.
a loss of $10?
Well, shit, man. Me, damn. That's fucked up. But back when I was on drugs, dude. Okay, when motherfuckers used to get credit, get a dime on credit, and don't pay it back, and hiding from the drug dealers. I mean, there was some drug dealers that fucking shot and killed motherfuckers for that. Now, me, I had shit. They couldn't kill my ass because they were giving me like $2,000 worth of credit, $800 worth of credit, and there were times where I wasn't able to pay that shit. I had a $2,500 drug deficit that I had to pay, and I never paid it, and I lived. And this guy that I did it with, he killed motherfuckers, man, for $10. Damn. And I learned that the more you owe them, they can't kill you. You know why?
Your ass is crazy,
they gotta let you live because this nigga gotta pay me the fuck back.
That ain't saying the more you owe, the more they ain't gonna kill you.
But the less you owe, nigga,
they gonna kill you for $10. They'll kill you for
$10.
$10.
I said, look, I got shot for $10 and I owe $2,500. I'm still walking around.
That's crazy. Your ass is fucking crazy, man. Oh my god, this crazy. Your ass crazy.
Man, I made deals with the devil, man, and lived somehow.
Right. You know what? We you know what? I don't think I can ever go, even though I've been there when I was on alcohol for a minute.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? I wouldn't like an alcoholic that deep like that but I would buy a beer a day. I'll buy a beer every day, and that was too much for me because I'm not like a drinker like that, right? I never was like that.
Oh,
But then
dude.
I had to catch myself because I was kind of going down that path, and my dad was a drunk, right? So I was going down that path, and I had to catch myself. I was like, no,
Me,
no, I don't want to go down this path.
I was the worst. I
You
was
know
the
what I'm
worst
saying?
kind of drug user that there could be. I was very functional. I mean, I was able to function because I was in the financial business and I knew that shit like the back of my hand. So I was able to, I could go to work, make 5 or 10 grand that day, and go home and party all night and don't go to bed and get up from my party table and go take a shower and go to work and do it again and come and leave work like at by 12 o'clock or 10 fucking o'clock because I already made my money and go home and do the same thing over and over. I mean, there were times where I tried to stay up. It was like 10 days before Christmas. I tried to stay up those 10 days before Christmas.
Right.
Just getting tore down. I mean, it was awful. I was worse than any rock star that I ever knew. I was probably just as bad as Rick James or worse. But I wasn't beating bitches with my crack pipe. I was beating them with my other pipe.
I don't think you can say that on here. You gonna have a censored, nigga.
Oh well,
You gonna have a
I was
censored.
doing a lot of plumbing.
You crazy. This nigga, God damn. You crazy.
Oh yeah, I did a lot of plumbing, and so I had to chill, just really, really chill because there was moments if I was with a chick and we were together and we weren't naked, it was something wrong.
You crazy.
Yeah, but yeah, thank God I made it through that shit STD free.
Well, I tell everybody
Then,
who go through these type of experience, write a
hmm
damn book, man.
yeah, I mean, a bunch of
You don't have to.
chicks.
You don't have to. You don't have to mention yourself. You can mention anonymous people and just add the story to anonymous people.
Yeah, I
You don't have
mean,
to.
plus being in the financial business is unlike any other business because we were mavericks, man. We were independent. Okay, we paid our way. We had to pay for everything. We if we mailed a letter to someone or sent something FedEx or used a courier, we had to pay for that shit. If we did a trade and the shit got fucked up and there was a deficit, we had to pay for that shit. Do a trade and the client stiff you and write a bad check and you did the trade, you got to pay for that shit. but
Right.
um, but it was risky. But it was just we didn't have no one telling us how to do shit, how to manage our time or whatever. That was our job.
Right.
We learned how to, we were go getters. We didn't. It wasn't punching a time clock and being told what to do, and have to be there all goddamn day and work like a dog. Shit,
Right.
we worked. I mean, we worked smart and hard, and then our smart work, our hard smart work was pay it off for us. Okay, shit, the shit gets easier and easier. So you have time to really fuck up in life, or you can do some really great things. I mean, if I would have known about this during that time, man, oh my God, we'd probably be there by now because, damn, I was in a great position in life to really. I mean, I had the world in my hands. I had the fucking golden fleece. I knew I was light years ahead of the curve. Shit. When everyone else was getting their ass handed to them, I was shit. I was laughing all the way to the bank, and my clients too. Like shit. I loved recessions. Economic meltdown. Oh my god, I made so much fucking money in them bitches.
Right.
Yeah, and shit, I'm salivating, waiting on this one. Shit.
You see what's on my screen right now?
Yeah, relinquishment of consular jurisdiction in Morocco. Let me read this. Senator Mansfield, isn't it true though that despite our request to the French, the Moroccan government was not notified or kept informed on any of the blah 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 of the three.
Concerning our relinquishing of the 3 or 4 basic
We have in that country. Okay. Mac,
M.
um,
Allen. There
Min
were
Allen,
no Moroccan government.
that is no native independent Moroccan government at that time. The French
Woo!
were, wait, there was no Moroccan government. That is no native independent Moroccan government at that time. The French were conducting the foreign relations of Morocco by treaty. Um, what's the
The
last
French
word?
were conducting the foreign relations of Morocco by treaty rights.
Oh, right. Okay. We
Right?
may because yeah, I have that the highlighter there is blocking the words. I can't see it. We may the debate blah 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 been wiser if the French at that time had consulted and question taken into their councils more of the local leaders, but the direct answer to your question is that you are correct in saying, as far as I am informed, that the French did not do that. Senator Mansfield, but we had asked them to. Mr. Allen, we expressed the view to the French that it would be more lasting and permanent and on a better basis if these arguments were entered into the concurrence and knowledge of the local leaders. Yes, Senator Mansfield, it is responsible to assume, I believe that.
It is reasonable.
Hmm,
It is
it is
reasonable.
reasonable to assume that I believe that the Moroccan government will also expect some additional funds for the use of these air bases. I understand that last fall, shortly after the Sultan was returned, he gave out a newspaper interview to that effect that he not only anticipated additional negotiations, but perhaps additional funds as well. Do you have any information on that, Mr. Allen? Yes, Senator Mansfield, that is quite correct. I think I ought to point out for the record that while I am delighted to discuss any aspect of the Moroccan question, this question of our basis there is not, I believe, entirely germane to this question of extraordinarily, but we
Extraterritorially.
extraterritoriality.
Yep.
But we will have to be talking with the Moroccan leaders about our basis. There is no doubt about that. Deleted. Senator Mansfield. Now, there is another question I wanted to ask. Status of Tangier. Mm. In talking about extraterritorial
Rights in Morocco.
rights in Morocco, what about the special status of Tangier under the Treaty of Al, 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 Algeciras? Algeciras.
Yep.
What are we going to do about giving up that particular part of Morocco to which the Moroccans undoubtedly will lay claim if they have not already? Mr. Allen, I am glad you brought that up. I was going to come to that in the remaining part of my discussion, but it is an entirely pertinent point. As the member of the committee are aware, Morocco, the territory of the Sultan of Morocco, is divided into three zones: the French zone, the Spanish zone, and the international city of Tangier. Each of these zones have a somewhat different history and a somewhat different treaty status. The French government agreed to grant independence to Morocco in January. The Spanish government has agreed to recognize just 2 days ago the independence of Morocco. Incidentally, the Sultan of Morocco has visited his dominions in the Spanish zone of Morocco yesterday, as you perhaps have seen in the press for the first time
So
in
the
three generations.
extraterritorial, well, when we say that they have extraterritorial jurisdiction, they're talking
Mhm,
about the Spanish zone in Morocco, the French zone in Morocco, the
mhm,
the British zone in Morocco. They also the
mhm.
French zone in Morocco. They all exist in Morocco, bro.
Yeah,
Right. So
yeah,
this is more evidence of it. I'm just pulling
yeah.
out
I
the
just
evidence
read
of
it.
Equal Council jurisdiction in Morocco.
Yeah, I just read it. I got,
And it's giving you reference to how France, the French government agreed to grant independence to Morocco. Remember, France conquered Morocco,
hmm.
right? The Kingdom of Morocco,
Oh.
and they granted them the independence to Morocco in January, right?
Hmm. Yeah.
Well, that's another reference to that history that I was talking about. How France allowed them to, I mean, not allowed them, but created the recognizations to
I
allow
recognize
the Kingdom of Morocco to come back online with the pre-existing sovereignty of Morocco as a extraterritorial jurisdiction.
it.
They even talked about the extraterritorial aspect of Morocco.
Yes.
Right? It said they're talking about the extraterritorial rights in Morocco.
Yep.
When they say in Morocco, they talking about over here too. They talking about parts of Spain. They talking about parts of Britain. Parts of that's all part of Morocco,
Mm.
right?
Damn. Mm.
All part of
Okay.
Morocco. I mean, extraterritorial wise, it's part of Morocco. When we talking about the French zone, the Spanish zone, it's extraterritorially, it's part of Morocco.
Okay.
So yeah, there's more evidence of that. But yeah,
All right.
we can end it right there. Let
Yeah.
your last
Yeah.
words in.
I don't have any special thoughts for tonight.
All right. Oh, we got
Last
two people
word.
in here.
Huh?
Oh, we got Rashamira here. What's up, brother?
Oh, he's here. Oh, yeah. What's happening? Oh, yeah.
I didn't know
Russian.
you was in there because I was busy reading this shit.
And not only that,
Groundbreak.
we're scared to hit the comments because we don't know what kind of link we might get.
Right. And I still didn't erase that show either.
And that show is being watched by a lot of. I mean, it's like,
We got the biggest show, the biggest viewed show, and the boy and a white boy showing his ass on it.
yeah.
The
Oh,
fuck?
goddamn. Yeah, which
That's
had
why
nothing to do with
I have
us.
to erase it because I don't want to taint what we've been doing, man. I don't want to taint it.
But it was a good show. It was a very, very good show.
So you think I should
Except
erase
for
it or
that.
not?
Except for that crap.
You think
In
I
the
should erase it or
beginning,
not?
huh?
You think I should erase it or not?
Shit, man, all those people watched it. It's too late.
They already seen his ass.
They already seen it.
This is sick.
All the others say, hey, we just put a note. Please excuse the asshole.
I'm
Hey, please
surprised.
excuse this
I'm
asshole
surprised
coming up.
YouTube didn't take it down.
Yeah.
I'm surprised they didn't take it down.
Well, they like stuff like that.
Huh?
They like stuff like that.
That shit's sick, man.
Yeah, that's some of that lefty shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, some lefty shit.
God damn. I should have known better than to do that shit though. I should have known better to pick on some damn link, some unknown motherfucker than sent in the damn chat.
I know, man. That's shit.
I
Like,
know now. You live and you learn, bro.
yeah, we stepped on a landmine, dude. That shit exploded. Bam! Oh, goddamn. Shrapnel everywhere.
Right.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm out of here, brother.
Okay, man. Well, good night, America.